In today's episode, we are going to discuss another interesting topic known as the nervous system. What is nervous system? Nervous system is a system made up of organized groups of specialized cells which conducts electrochemical stimuli from sensory receptors through a network to the site where response occurs or takes place. The nervous system is a system made up of organized groups of specialized cells which conduct or transmit electrochemical stimuli from sensory receptors through a network to the sites where response takes place. So, three things are very important in the definition. Those important points in the definition are specialized cells. Specialized cells. Another one is sensory receptors. Another one is sites where response occurs. These are the three key points in the definition of the nervous system. So the first one, specialized cells, are actually the units of the nervous system, which are known as the neurons or nerve cells. The neurons or nerve cells. The sensory receptors are those receptors that are found at the surface of sense organs. These receptors detect stimulus. They detect stimulus which are then carried by the neurons to and from the nervous system. The third one are the sites for response. The sites for response are generally known as the effectors. They are generally known as the effectors. They include the glands as well as the muscles. The muscles and glands are generally referred to as the effectors. So these are the key components of the definition of the nervous system. So once you understand these three components, you are getting closer to understanding the concept of nervous system. So what are the functions of the nervous system? The nervous system performs several functions. Some of those functions include homeostasis, balancing, movement, control of the senses, such as the sense of smell, the sense of taste, of hearing, of smell. It also controls sweating, digestion, salivation, breathing, and so on and so forth. There are so many functions of the nervous system. The nervous system is a coordinating system, just like we have another system that also coordinates, like the nervous system. This system is known as the endocrine system. Both systems are involved in coordinating the entire body system. They maintain the coordination and integration of impulses to and from the CNS. The nervous system is divided into two parts. You have the central nervous system, then we have the peripheral nervous system. We have the central nervous system, we have the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is divided into two parts. You have the brain the spinal cord, the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is divided into two parts. You have the somatic nervous system, you have the autonomic nervous system. You have the somatic nervous system, you have the autonomic nervous system. All the nerves make up the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system connects to the central nervous system for coordination of the body. So, to capture what is on the board, the central nervous system is divided into two parts, the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is also divided into two parts. We have the somatic nervous system, we have the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is divided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So these are the divisions of the nervous system. Now we go to the brain. The brain is one of the organs of the central nervous system. The brain is protected externally by cranium. The cranium is a part of the skull, and that's where the brain is protected. It is protected internally by meninges. It is protected internally by meninges. The meninges are divided into three. You have the dura mater, we have the arachnoid, then we have the pia mater. These are the three divisions of the meninges. The role of the meninges are to protect the brain from internal damage or injury. The role of the cranium is to protect the brain externally from external injury or mechanical injury. The meninges are beaten in a fluid called the cerebrospinal fluid. The cerebrospinal fluid is a fluid within the brain. It helps the brain in three ways. One of them is that it pushes the brain. Number two is that it nourishes the brain. Then the third function is that it removes waste. From the brain. It removes the waste from the brain. So these are the three key functions of the cerebrospinal fluid. It pushes the brain, it nourishes the brain, supplying nutrients to the brain. Then it also helps to remove waste products generated by the brain. The brain of an adult weighs between 1.2 kilogram to 1.4 kilogram. Also, the brain is the first organ to react to low oxygen and glucose level in the body. Low oxygen and glucose level in the body. And if not adequately supplied on time, the individual may go into a state of dizziness or faint outrightly. And if it's not checked on time, the person will run into a state of coma. The brain also has connected to it nerves, which are 12 pairs. There are 12 pairs of nerves connected to the brain. There are 12 pairs of nerves connected to the brain. The brain is also grayish externally and whitish internally. The brain is grayish externally and whitish internally. So the grayish area of the brain contains cell body dendrites from myelinated axon, while the whitish area contains myelinated axon. There are special cells called Gler cells. There are special cells called Gler cells that are found in both the CNS and the PNS. These are special cells found in both the CNS and the PNS. These cells are not involved in the transmission of electrochemical impulses. Rather, they help to regulate certain processes in the CNS. They regulate homeostasis, they also form myelin in the PNS. They also form myelin in the PNS. They also support and protect neurons. They also support and protect neurons. The Gler cells are produced by Schwann cells. Parts of the brain. The brain is divided into three parts. We have the forebrain, we have the midbrain, and we have the hindbrain. The forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. The forebrain is divided into three parts. We have the cerebrum, we have the thalamus, then we have the hypothalamus. The form is divided into three parts: the cerebrum, the thalamus, the hypothalamus. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It is the largest part of the brain. The outermost layer of the cerebrum is known as the cerebral cortex. The cerebrum is divided into two halves, known as the cerebral hemispheres. The hemispheres is the left and the right hemisphere. The right hemisphere controls the left hemisphere controls the right. These hemispheres is divided into four loops. We have the frontal loop, we have the parietal loop, we have the occipital loop, then we have the temporal loop. So the hemispheres is also divided into four loops: the frontal loop, the parietal loop, the occipital loop, and the temporal loop. There are several functions of the cerebrum. Being the largest part of the brain, perform key functions for memory retention. It controls consciousness, it controls memory or retention of past experience, it controls creativity, it controls imagination. So it is regarded as the highest center of the brain. The thalamus are two oval shapes. There are two oval shapes attached to the back of the forebrain. The thalamus are two oval shapes attached to the back of the forebrain. They act as a connector between the cerebrum and the hypothalamus. It acts as a relay center for coordinating outgoing impulses from the cortex. It also acts as a relay center for receiving sensory information from the nervous system. So these are the two key functions of the thalamus. Hypothalamus. It connects to the pituitary gland. It connects to the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is referred to as the master gland in the endocrine system because it controls the activities of other glands. That is why it is called the master gland. It controls the activities of the other glands. So its activities is regulated by the hypothalamus. Therefore, the hypothalamus acts as a link between the nervous system and the endocrine system. There are several functions of the hypothalamus. One of the functions of the hypothalamus is that it regulates homeostasis. The hypothalamus regulates homeostasis. The hypothalamus controls the activities of the autonomic nervous system. Activities such as pleasure, such as mood, such as anger, such as emotions are controlled by the hypothalamus. The midbrain. The midbrain connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. The midbrain connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. So what are the functions of the midbrain? The midbrain controls certain reflex activities connected to sight. The midbrain controls certain reflex activities connected to sight. It also contains certain reflex activities connected to hearing. The hindbrain. This is also divided into three parts. We have the first part, which is the cerebellum. The second part, which is the pons. And then the third part, which is the medulla oblongata. These are the four parts of the hindbrain: the cerebellum, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. The first one is the cerebellum. The cerebellum is more or less like the cerebrum, but but found at the posterior end of the back of the brain. The cerebellum is divided into two halves, known as the cerebellar hemispheres. So what are the functions of the cerebellum? The cerebellum controls balancing, muscular movement, posture. The pons acts as a bridge. The pons is a bridge. It's a bridge for what? It's a bridge between the brain, the spinal cord, and the rest of the nervous system. This is a bridge between the brain, the spinal cord, as well as the cerebellum. The pons does not really have any special role in the nervous system or in the brain. But what is known about the pons is that they have as a bridge between the brain, the spinal cord, and the cerebellum. The next one is the medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is peculiar among the parts of the brain. Why? Because it is directly connected to the spinal cord. It is directly connected to the spinal cord. And because of that, bulk of its function are reflexes. Most of the function of the oblongata are reflexes, such as digestion, salivation, breathing or respiration, coughing, etc. So there are a lot of functions that are reflexes that the medulla oblongata performs. Why is it that bulk of its functions are reflex? Is because it has a direct connection to the spinal cord. Next one is the spinal cord. The spinal cord is a cylinder. It's a cylinder of nerves. It's a cylinder of nerves that lines the vertebral column. The cylinder of nerves that lines the vertebral column. So the vertebral column provides external protection for the spinal cord. The vertebral column provides external protection for the spinal cord. The spinal cord is protected internally also by meninges. Like I said it earlier, that the meninges are divided into three parts. We have the dura mater, which is the outer layer of the meninges. We have the arachnoid, which is the middle layer. We have the pia mater, which is the innermost membrane of the meninges. All provides internal protection to the spinal cord. The spinal cord also contains cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid, pushing the brain and spinal cord, supply nourishment to both the brain and spinal cord, and also remove the waste of both the brain and spinal cord. So the function of the spinal cord are reflex. It controls simple reflexes. Such as new check, blinking of the eyes, blinking of the as withdrawal from sharp objects. Withdrawal of body from sharp objects. And so on and so forth. So these are some of the functions performed by the spinal cord. It also acts as a link between the spinal nerves and the brain. It also acts as a link between the spinal nerves and the brain. Next one is to go to the PNS. The PNS means the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral. The peripheral nervous system is all about the nerves of the nervous system. And of course, the nerves of the nervous system contain specialized cells called neurons. The nerves of the brain, said earlier, the nerves of the brain are 12 pairs called the cranial nerves. The nerves of the spinal cord are 31 pairs called the spinal nerves. So these are the main nerves of the nervous system, or constituting the peripheral nervous system. The 12 pairs of cranial nerves connected to the brain, 31 pairs of spinal nerves connected to the spinal cord. Generally, the peripheral nervous system has three main neurons. The sensory neurons are those neurons that transmit impulses from the sensory receptors to the CNS. The relay neuron transmits impulses away from the CNS, while the motor neurons transmit impulses to the effectors, which are usually the muscles and the glands. So we are going to look at that later. But generally speaking, the peripheral nervous system, constituting all the nerves of the body, which are made up of nerve cells, and the nerve cells of the peripheral nervous system are divided into three. The sensory neurons, or the afferent neurons, transmit sensory impulses to the CNS for interpretation, while the relay neuron transmits interpreted impulses away from the CNS to the motor neuron, while the motor neuron transmits the impulses to the effectors, which produce the response. And the effectors are usually the glands and the muscles. Now, the peripheral nervous system is divided into two parts. We have the somatic and the autonomic. We have the somatic nervous system, we have the autonomic peripheral nervous system. This one, which is the somatic nervous system, carries signals. The somatic nervous system carries signals or transmits signals to skeletal muscles. To skeletal muscles, which are followed. The autonomic carries signals to smooth muscles, as well as cardiac muscles, to smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. Hence, it's involuntary. So activities of the autonomic is involuntary. Activities of the somatic is voluntary. So the autonomic is divided into two parts. These are the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Sympathetic and the parasympathetic autonomic nervous system. This one acts in the flight and fight. It controls fight and fight. This one controls relax and digestion. Digest. Both the parasympathetic and sympathetic performs antagonistic functions. They perform antagonistic functions. Both the sympathetic and parasympathetic performs antagonistic functions. Among the functions they perform are that while this one slows down heartbeat, this one accelerates heartbeat. This one accelerates heartbeat. This one constricts pupil. This one dilates the pupil. The sympathetic dilates pupil. This one aids in the emptying of the urinary bladder. This one aids in the inhibition of the urinary bladder. This one aids in the secretion of saliva. This one aids in the inhibition of saliva, and so on and so forth. So their function is antagonistic of each other. So we are going to shift to neurons. So neurons are highly specialized cells that conduct electrochemical impulses to and from the CNS. It is expected that a typical neuron should have these following components: the cell body or soma, dendron, the brach dendrite, the axon, Schwann cells, Marlin sheaths, nodes of Lambia. The cell body. The cell body is a major component of the neuron. It could be oval in shape, it could be polygonal in shape, it could be star-shaped. The cell body also contains two components, which are the nucleus and the cytoplasm. The nucleus and cytoplasm make up the parts of the cell body. The cell body is grayish in appearance. The cell body is grayish in appearance. And it also contains Goody bodies, which helps in the transmission of electrochemical impulses. So what is the main function of the cell body? The cell body's main function is to transmit impulses it receives from its axon. The main function of the cell body is to transmit impulses it receives from its axon. So that's the function of the cell body. The next one is the dendron. The dendron protrudes away from the cell body. The dendron protrudes away from cell body. The dendron protrudes away from the cell body. What does it do? It transmits impulses it receives from the cell body to the dendrites. Transmits impulses to dendrites. It transmits impulses it receives to the dendrites. So that is the function of the dendron. The next one is the dendrite. The dendrite is regarded as the receptive region of the cell body. So the next one is the axon. The next is the axon. The axon is a long process. It contains long processes. The axon contains long processes. And of course, the role of the axon is to transmit impulses away from the cell body to its destination. The next one is the myelin sheath. Yes, not all neurons contain myelin sheaths. Some neurons are myelinated, while some others are not myelinated. So it is not found in all neurons. But the myelin sheath is produced by the Schwann cells. It is a fatty sheet. So because they are fatty in nature, they act as electrical insulator. Because they are fatty in nature, they act as electrical insulator. They also help to increase the speed. At which impulses travels along the axon. Increase the speed of impulses along the axon. You have to increase the speed at which impulses travels along the axon. The next one is the Schwann cells. As I said earlier, the Schwann cells are specialized cells. They are a special type of Glial cells, and then they help to keep the neurons alive. That's a key role of the Schwann cells. They help to keep the neurons alive, and then they also produce Schwann cells. They also produce the myelin sheath. The Schwann cells produce the myelin sheath. So, another thing they do is that the Schwann cells helps in the regeneration of nerve fibers. They also help in the regeneration of the nerve fibers. So these are the 2 key roles of the, or 3 key roles of the Schwann cells. They help to keep the neuron alive, they produce myelin sheaths, they aid in regeneration of the nerve fibers. Next one is the nodes of Ranvier. The nodes of Ranvier. They are also known as the myelin sheath gaps. They are known as the myelin sheath gaps because they are found in between the myelin sheath that surrounds the axon. So, what are the functions of the neurotroph? Is to allow ions to diffuse into and out of the neurons, and then they also propagate signals down the axon. The next one is the synaptic gap. The synaptic gap is a gap that is found between two neurons. It is a gap that is found between the end of one neuron and the dendrites of the cell body of another neuron. So this is where electrical impulses are converted to chemical impulses. This is where electrical impulses are converted to chemical impulses. So the synaptic gap contains neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine, which helps to convert electrical impulses to chemical impulses, which is then moved to the next neuron. Of course, in the course of conversion, the next neuron feels the activities taking place in the synaptic gap. The neurons are classified. Classification of neurons. Neurons are classified based on one, number of processes, and two, functions. Let's go to classification based on number of processes. Based on number of processes. These are unipolar, that is with just one extension. With just one extension from cell body. Just one extension, that is from cell body to dendrite. Then the bipolar contain two extensions. That is from cell body through to axon, and then to two dendrites, while multipolar have many extensions containing one axon and one axon with many dendrites. Also classified based on functions. Here, the neuron is divided into three. You have a sensory neuron, or afferent neuron. You have the relay neuron, or intermediate neuron. We also have the motor neuron, or efferent neuron. So these are the three types of neuron based on function, or classification of neurons based on function. Sensory neuron or afferent neuron, relay neuron or intermediate neuron, motor neuron, or efferent neuron. So each of them has their role. The sensory neuron transmits electrical impulses from the CNS. The linear neuron transmits electrical impulses. The sensory neuron transmits electrical impulses from the sensory receptors to the CNS. The linear neuron transmits electrical impulses that are already interpreted from the CNS to motor neuron, while the motor neuron transmits the interpreted impulses from the CNS to the effectors, which are usually glands or muscles.